Video 2 in a row. Being busy today. It's always good to be busy. Might as well do this in the heat wave because it's ridiculous. It's just sweaty out there. I've just been out to collect a parcel and just opening the door, I felt like I was melting. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about the Kodak film camera M35. Little plastic, tiny little thing, quite nice. Little film camera, little reusable in the style of a disposable. Sealed up reasonably well. I mean, I assume so. I've put a test reel in here at the moment. I took out, where's the box gone? Well, it's got a test reel to practice this week and just take some photos of whatever's going by just in the day. Chucked in some Ilford, where you're focusing, XP400, black and white but C41 process, so it processes like colour film, which is more, words, black and white film is easier to process, it's less drawn out, there's like 3 steps, develop, stop, fix, done. They wash all the same, they dry relatively the same, but colour has 1 or 2 more chemicals involved. I am ordering some colour film to, again, shoot whilst we're out in Newquay, and that's, this video will obviously cover 3 parts. This is pre-Newquay, talking about the actual test of it and how it works. There'll be a second half, or not a second part, the second half of this video where it's actually being shot in Newquay. That will just be some going around footage, nothing particularly informative, but just shows you how this particular camera works. Might talk a bit on it whilst I'm there. And then we will look at the photos post-Newquay after I've got them developed and processed and scanned, etc., and decide what I'm going to do with them from there. The test reel, I'm not expecting much. I'm just, you know, walking past a pretty flower, looking through the it's not a viewfinder, it's a, I've forgotten the correct word for it, Andrew, that's a bit daft. Not a rangefinder either, but it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. However, you're looking up here, the lens is down there, that little difference over distance adds to a foot or 2, not a huge amount, I can't remember the exact maths, but it's something like that. Or, you know, if you're doing a portrait, they are actually now another inch to your left, you know. It's not a big difference, but for it to line up there, it's actually here. So you've got to take that into account when you're photographing things. Yeah, I'm just test rolling this. Nothing special, nothing amazing's got to come out of this, nothing worth keeping. Say that, you never know. But we'll show you the footage and then we'll work from there. I have used these reusable disposable cameras before. I had and used the one from Lomography. If you look at the sort of size and build of them, about the same. The idea is just, they just house the 35mm film. You can both, I won't open this one because this one's now got film in it, but they both have little triggers along the side, and they just have the back that opens up. The film goes in, rolls down, wind on, press, shoot, fire, done. Why am I not taking this one to Newquay? This was quite a workhorse during uni. I took this as a idea towards one of the projects. I wanted to see how professional standards I could get out of them, but taking shots with, you know, what comes across, you know, quality wise as a touristy camera. You know, it's designed, it's not particularly best, it's plastic, it's not a lens, it's just, so the quality of the image is a bit softer than perhaps a slightly more technical camera would be, but I wanted the feel and idea of, you know, looking at the lighting and that by taking this up. So this has had a fair good run on it. The gears on the inside are a bit soft now and they don't wind on as well as they did when I first got it up against this, which is just straight out the packet and worked. So I'm assuming this will work. It's going to have a similar aspect to it. I think it's a slightly bigger lens. When I say lens, it is just some like perspex over the film and over the shutter. They work exactly the same, there is no difference between them. I think, when you're saying that, I can't remember on the box instructions, and it doesn't say anywhere on the back, but I think if you really wanted to go into it, the aperture hole that's in this one, this is f8 and this is f10, that's not really here nor there. So yeah, let's go see what this can do. A nifty little camera. So it is just a reusable disposable, second order film that's gone through this one so far, and haven't printed anything yet because I'm away, but it loads up nice and easy, it winds on properly. It's a nice nifty little one to be honest, doesn't it? Pretty much it for this camera. Sorry for the jump around again. I'm now back home in London. Yeah, so having had the photos back from it, I'd recommend always using the flash with it, as otherwise all the photos are a bit softer, and obviously the more light on a picture, the more sharper it becomes, the more detail you capture. Well, you don't capture any more detail, you just sharpen up the bits that are there, so the flash is quite a useful element to this particular camera. Yeah, very plasticky body, but that's what it is. It's just a reusable, disposable camera. Came back happy with the images. I say it's perspex light lens, f8, so there's not really any depth of field in terms of shallowness, and for portraits the only shallowness that really comes in is when the light and dark elements come into it, a bit like I am here, where it's lighter over in the background and darker here. It creates that sort of forced perspective of depth, but not an actual depth as in an image. Yeah, film winds through back and forwards okay at the moment. I think that will deteriorate over time, unlike a proper 35mm camera. I'm just currently trying to dead end the film. I don't know if that's visible from here. Yes, with a fixed f8 aperture and the dedication of how much light there is on the day versus how much light the little flash produces, which I don't know as an actual fixed number, and again, whatever that fixed number was when you bought it out of the packet, because you're putting charge through a small fuse or whatever it is, that's going to depreciate over time as well. So the amount of light you're actually getting out will change as time goes by. I enjoyed using this at my friend's wedding. Didn't get as many photos as I was a bit too busy. I was doing some bits for them and helping out around the wedding, but it was very nice. It was a very good wedding. I think things like this is nice because it limits what you can take and where you can take the photos. I don't think that we should take phones to weddings and just snap away at the bride's big day or the groom's big day, whichever way you're looking at it, or whoever you're photographing or being there for, or whatever. You get the photographer's way, you're getting rid of everyone's way. But things like this, you can take a handful of photos that nobody else. Actual disposable cameras have a bit better place to put your hand and place to hold. And obviously the wind is a bit more solidly built, but then again it's not designed to wind back. There is nowhere on the base to use as a tripod mount or anything like that, so it's not designed for anything landscapish particularly, or I mean you can't do long exposure on it anyway because it's all fixed settings, but there's nothing, you know, you can't frame up your composition and spend a bit more time on that. It is designed as a point and shoot, which is nice. That offers just a different type of image and a different way of thinking and a different way of shooting than perhaps something that's a bit more, you know, run and gun like a GoPro, or something where you're allowed to take more time like a medium format or